afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Strike Defender of the Fatherland, off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Holotny Firma. Not Holotny Firma, it's Semoisky Winter. Semoisky Winter, damn it, too much Holotny Firma. Anyway, first and south, we got Angreifen fighting for Germany, Deutschland, the Oberkommando West, rolling out here with the 15th Panzer Division versus the north. You got Talisman fighting for King Country, the Commonwealth, taking on the good fight for the Empire here with the 51st Infantry Division. We're looking at breakthrough for Angreifen versus Mobile Assault Vanguard and Commander Regiment there for Talisman. Triple Infantry, double Infantry for Angreifen with a single Raketenwerfer. Infantry moving ahead speedily here, going for the western viewpoint. And the forces of the Russian Gap supports, there'll probably be a coup now on the way, yes, to sort of follow up and secure territory in the wake of the infantry's advance. With Talisman there going for the now standard, just get a lot of infantry sections opening for the British. Bart wide down there, an interesting position, probably to try and make it hard to fight against here. Make it easy for him to defend the fuel point that way. I'm not entirely sure what the exact purpose of this one, but I'm guessing again it's just to make it hard for Talisman to somehow defend it. But there you go, folks, we're starting the church and getting the section there. Colonel TK staying out there as the infantry sections. Lee Enfield Rifles. Third section in Norfolk's there. Other section towards the southern fuel point. And there you go, fuel point secured for Angreifen and the German army. With another focus on the way there for him. Will he go for the Sturmwaffe which he's been using recently, or has he gotten bored or tired of it, just decided he's not worth it? We'll find out. As for Talisman, we got nothing further going on there. Of course, we got the 4th section on the way there, grabbing the point here. And there you go, second focus squad out there for Angreifen for Germany. Territory being seized here, and this jump on is when he's probably hoping for the section to push out because he just tries to take it on. That's not going to work out too well, so we can bait the section into engagement then with the Sturm Pioneers. With the Sturm Pioneers, going to of course perform better. It's going to work out a lot better there for Angreifen, so that might of course be what he's hoping to do. But so far, Talisman is not too keen on feeding the Sturm Pioneers experience, which of course is a very sensible choice as well there by Talisman. But there you go. Nonetheless, the assault pushing in the Fulton getting this from the cemetery, taking losses. And you can see the Talisman very quick tour to the section decide to focus on the Sturm Pioneers since they are the bigger threat. He could try and pull over across the road to engage the section there with a bit better damage there, but there you go. As soon as he tries to engage the house there, Talisman springs a trap, sneaks in a section from the south to attack the folks in the cemetery, flanking them. And you can see this option, the section could flank about, he'd get behind the Sturm Pioneers and sandwich them between two houses, which would really be bad there for Angreifen. There you go, pushing ahead though here, section engaging there, he tries to avoid it, but Talisman just does not let up. And there you go, section flank behind the Sturm Pioneers, forcing Angreifen to reposition. Sturm Pioneers already low on health and low on numbers. Section is forced out, but overall the German infantry is a much worse state overall combined, and the two sections are now also closing in on the village. In the south, the Angreifen second full squad moving ahead there could hit the fuel point. Northern fuel point has been lost to a section who's now just wiring off, or sandbagging him from the barbed wire. So Angreifen can't use that. Cheeky. Sturm Pioneers trying to do with the section pull out from the one window there. Bit risky. But they might have a chance, in particular since some of the sections, I mean, obviously can't focus them down, so there's a chance that the DPS can pull through. Fortunately, they're on low on health, need to retreat soon. We got not much further on here for Angreifen. Could go for the Sturm Officer now, could go for infantry. Either way, though, probably something should be happening, though he has in fact gone here for the Battle Group headquarters. Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier. But wait, why aren't our headquarters the other track anyways? Well, that's the command headquarters, but what's the difference? Shut up, Jürgen. We got take up there, we got no bolts or section there though from him, which is always pretty common, but though he's in this case pushing for the AC as rapidly as possible. Healing kits up there, cooldown going up here, going to cut off the fuel point there, very good move there by Angreifen. And we got a light infantry on the way there for Angreifen, so he's shot on infantry, he's going for support weapons. He should probably also at some nearby point consider upgrading assault rifles, and those folks going to have this slightly better chance versus the sections, in particular when and if Talisman decides to bolster them. When and if. Though it seems very likely more question of when rather than if. Healing reinforcement, and they got the medics hard at work on poor Jürgen. Nine, I'm pretty sure he needs both kidneys, Jürgen. Are you sure? Yeah. Anyways, we're medics, not surgeons. I don't think that's your job anyways to go poking about in. Line figure on there, almost done for Angreifen. Lightest infantry shots. Cough one, then he gets hit by a section. Got a Vickers on the way there for Talisman. Fancy that. But there you go. LEIG 18. Firing out the section, opening up with the 75mm high explosive shells. Fox is pushing it, taking minor losses as they push it, and there we go. Good hit there from the light infantry gun, almost taking out the section, forcing that a retreat. Kuban though finally went down, tried to escape, was close but ultimately went down. And we can see that Angreifen out with Panzerfusiliere. Some more hardened men who have seen much action on all the fronts. So pushing ahead there. And then go Talisman going for the AC Mark III. Sturmpanzers bring it, closing in the Metron G1. G50 upgrade almost down there for Angreifen. It's Panzerfusiliere. But no Sturm officers, I'm guessing for whatever reasons he's decided he either doesn't like it or isn't worth it. Which in theory could, you know, both be the same thing. Sturmpanzer on the back, there's got a section flying in, we got a sapper section running up there for Talisman. One infantry, no doctrinal choice yet there for Talisman, and no doctrinal choice is no indication of sort of any path he wants to take. Up north you got the Panzer engaging the infantry section, the G40 with the Car-9 TKs there, owning in on the infantry section, stands out in the open, not really able to respond to effectively. So that's a one engagement I think there for Angreifen. The question is just how much damage does he do before Talisman retreats if he realises what's going on. There you go. You could in theory pushed a bit closer towards some of the light cover to get a better, more DPS in there, but he decided to stay at max range, just minimise incoming damage from this section as much as possible. And it looks like Angreifen forgot about so the section actually grab the fuel now without getting shot to pieces. Bit awkward there for Angreifen. Double sappers there for Talisman. Bold move. Definitely a lot of troops though, which will actually allow him to exert a lot of map control because, I mean, on a one-for-one basis, I mean, now Talisman or Angrifen's not going to have enough forces to keep these occupied. But he has brought up an MG34 to help control territory against some of Talisman's forces. That will certainly help somewhat versus all this infantry. Though he might actually need an additional MG34 to just contain it because, I mean, there's 6 infantry squads out in the field. Got the Sturmpioneers there with a Panzerschreck, the Raketen Panzerbüchse. In the centre, slow advance here, folks, as the MG34 hauling up, and there we've got the section hiding on the house panzers there, still forgotten, sort of wondering when if they have to move. So, do we like going and murder some or what? 98th for orders. In the meanwhile, we just stand here and freeze our toes off again. That looks like he's finally got a move on there. Just took him several minutes. Bit of waste of the panzers, to be honest. I mean, the own infantry squad is somewhat expensive. A lot of firepower, still took him some time to just get them moving. Talisman, the guard doctrine choice, and it is mobile assault, not commando, but mobile assault is also, of course, very good. We got the commando squad there. Panzer they're fighting against the section. Well, one man, in fact, down to just that because they're getting bombarded as it tears into the MG34 crew out in the open, which stands no actual chance of winning there. Until Angreifen has to retreat, though he might actually lose the machine gun crew there. Got the AC there. Oh, hounding it down. There you go. Wipes the MG34. They've got no way of actually crewing it and no way of immediately destroying it either. Angreifen causes aware of that and quickly moves in. Though there is still the Vickers pulling up, they're going to make it hard for them to grab it and, of course, cut down any German infantry which is foolish enough to move out into the open. Sturmpioneers being held back, full moving ahead there. And there you go, light infantry gun fire, machine gun fire, almost wiping out Talisman's machine gun. Up here we got, I think, no bolsters and upgrades in terms of grenades or brand guns. That's a bit interesting there from Talisman. I'm starting to see no commandos yet either. Man from Angreifen to catch how many infantry vehicles and maybe infiltrators that might appear from the church. Second Panzer squad, so he's adding in more infantry of his own. And up north there you go, we got the Panzer Reservists, the AC Mark III. Fritz the first one there to bite the bullet. Followed by Otto pretty schnell. Meanwhile though, Talisman just hitting the field, denying it, so Angreifen course zipping ahead. We also got flamethrower there for the sappers, that might be the same. Oh, we got command as well here, of course now slightly decreased size as they infiltrate, down to just 3. They of course can now be upgraded or reinforced up to a 5-man squad. So initially they might not have so much impact directly, though long term of course they can sort of now perform just as well as any other command squad. Certainly makes it a bit nastier that way. Nothing further going on here in Talisman space, so we got the Vickers section moving out here. AC rolling back in the south here, we've got following against the sappers. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Continue finding here, I kind of need to be careful. And there you go, section sent running. I can never somehow panty main to hit the ground right in front of the church. Hey, some pretty special marksmanship there. Talisman though is just continuing to float fuel and just pouring it in without really trying to invest in it in a big advantage. I mean, he could even just go for more armored cars to be honest, but always just trying to push for like the next tier and a fast medium tank would be really advisable. Really advisable. There's also sadly no doctor uses here in terms of breakthrough tactics for Angreifen. Seems like his otherwise of the earlier good usage of breakthrough doctrine seems to slightly lapse a bit there. There we go, smoke screen then on the MG on the machine gun, then the church very good. I was about to call it the MG34. Silly me. And there you go, smoke enveloping the house, forcing the machine gun crew out, since they obviously do not want to be in the receiving end on what could be thrown through the smoke. Of course that means you just rush into the house. So good work there by Angreifen, good use of smoke. Back here, troop ceiling reinforcing, no takeover yet for Angreifen either though. But Talisman has gone forward, he has tagged up, and he's not too far off now from a Cromwell or a Centaur. He's also floating a bit of munitions, grenades could be helpful, more flamethrowers, minesweepers in cases where that guy's been laying down a lot of mines, though I imagine he isn't. Panzer around Sapper's section in the Koth point, taking heavy damage. A swift retreat there from Angreifen Panzer. Outnumbered, outmatched, outgunned. And looks like it's going to be the same story here by the fuel point. But he's finally also beginning to put more pressure on the northern fuel point. Again, very good. You need to be careful not to get overly focused on just one part on the map. That can prove to be detrimental. So far, that's been what Talisman's doing better than Angreifen. Not getting overly focused on one part of the map, which is what has allowed him to then suddenly push ahead in fuel, and will soon allow him to push out a tank faster than Angreifen. In fact, he can get out a tank faster than Angreifen because that was straight up panzered quarters, which is definitely not good for Angreifen. There you go, sappers supporting an armoured car here as they push for the fuel point. Section supporting as well. There you go, going into tank rifle grenade there off on the AC. Bit out to the far here. Vickers section catching the kid in a nasty crossfire. And there you go, hitting the southern fuel point. Folks, what was the sappers? No Ballan guy by the looks of it. And there you go, second infantry section ringing out support and try and push the Germans off the field before it's too late. And up north, Sturm pioneers are just forgotten. He just keeps forgetting about stuff up around the northern victory point, which is definitely a bit awkward. MD34 popped into the church, but really a poor decision considering there's so much on the other side. They probably should have done some reconnaissance. He's lucky just doesn't lose it to something. And there you go, got to now. 5-man commander squad moving in with a silenced end guns, just pouring lead at any German they see in their sights. Machine gun there trying to set up, but just getting focused down. They got the command from the other side. And there you go, step popping into the church, catching the punch out in the open. This is some nasty stuff. Therefore, going for the point there, and up north here, Sturmpan is trying to catch the section as they finally leave the point. They have to stay there anyways. No tank yet though for Talisman. Oops. No tank yet. Just a lot of infantry. There you go. Got the Cromwell. Got the Cromwell. Section reinforcing. Panzer was moving up. Both now with G43. Schwer Panzer quarters up. Let's give him some time for him to get out any armor. There you go. We got a light gun bomb off. Hoping you. Oh! He took the bait! He took the bait! Costing him a full Panzer Fusilier squad. Nasty loss there. Yeah, that's a trick some players like. They just throw it at the door, assuming you pop out there to get out, and then you just walk straight into the grenade instead. And he just chose on the other side. They would have gone away safely, but he somehow just chose the most immediate door and the one, of course, best at the grenade. Ah. Nice throw though by Talisman. Nice throw. Just really bad response from Angreifen to it. So some more lead infantry this time to pick up for the Panzer Fusilier. No, not like down. These commanders are just wreaking havoc on Angreifen and the 15th Panzer Grenadiers. There you go. LMG on the way there for the Obersoldaten. AC, they're pushing back the Volksgrenadiers there. 11 kills for King and Country. And we got the Northern Victory pumping squad as well. Talisman so far enjoying a fat lead of Angreifen. Again, just the sheer number of infantry Scott makes it harder there for Angreifen, so maintaining this sort of effective map control. But also the way he marked the O, focusing on the centre, isn't particularly helping. Troops reinforcing, got the Obersoldaten there trying to move towards the centre. We got more mounting artillery fire here on the Vickers in the centre. But again, fuel control is not particularly looking advantageous there for Angreifen. And Talisman is quickly pulling ahead there in the fuel race. And soon we'll be able to call in another tank already. Which is definitely bad news for Angreifen. I mean, you can soon go for the Panzer IV, though, because there's always the option of a Yak Panzer who's feeling particularly threatened. Got movement there ahead. AC rolling a bit around there. Perhaps unsure what he wants to do. We've got the Cromwell hanging back. Knowing this Broad's got some anti-tank weapons, he's not too keen on just, I think, racing it in there blindly just to get destroyed.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
There you go, again making a move for a fuel point. Germany. Big push there, supported by the AC up north. There, Cromwell dealing with machine gun and also pushing back one of Angreifen's best options, then dealing with the big infantry push coming in from the east. Less good there for Angreifen, less good. Getting down now to the Obersoldaten to somehow hold the line until reinforcements brought forwards. He can go for the Panzer IV now. Of course, he could also aim for the Panther. Then most players at this stage would go for the Panzer IV. More likely to have an impact and not be too delayed. In this case though, Talisman calls in a land mattress. This will deal with it, but Angreifen's got dug in. That does mean that his Panzer IV is going to get more charge to do some damage. Of course, it's not going to be too outnumbered, which is sort of the important thing here. So here going for the land mattress, so another tank will perhaps buy Angreifen's Panzer IV chance of turning things around a bit. There you go, mine stand by the northern fuel. Light infantry gun trying to get away. We got infantry setting up to cover the retreat here. Low on health, low on numbers. Panzer IV almost done. And here reinforcement happening. Back at Talisman's base, still no upgrades whatsoever. That's actually a bit surprising. Most British players would have gone for a bunch of them by now, but Talisman is seemingly unique in his desire not to upgrade them. Always planning to do other things like using advanced cover combat as such. We'll have to see. But the Panzer IV is arriving. The Panzerkampfwagen 4. Got the command minute trying to creep ahead, but they're not going to be able to go for not light gamble there against the MG34. And there we go. Through the sky, through the air, and almost taking out the MG34 once more. Angreifen is not having a lot of luck with that machine gun and those commandos. Good throwing there by Talisman. The southeast sappers are ambushed by the officer and the punchers. They're almost taking out the entire section. Almost, but one man survives. One man runs to rebuild the section. One from in from the south, gonna probably try and take out the section. You can grab and connect the fuel. We got the Panzer IV moving in. Center there's also being rapidly grabbed here. We got the AC in the way. Cromwell is hanging back all the way up here. Apparently too scared to attack. Angreifen from the counter attack. At least not without more support, and according this is where he might then regret having not gone for another Cromwell fast and just gone for the land matches instead, which is already taking losses. I mean, if Angreifen knows he could just drive out here and just engage the land matches head on and destroy it. But he doesn't, so he does not do that. Instead he goes for another cannon effort. Need to be careful about there how you aim your Panzer IV. Intensely exposed of the armor, there we go. Penetrating from the AC, but also get him back there in the east. All of a sudden they're being slowly crushed by the Cromwell. Bad news. Everyone, bad news. Second defending the northern victory point here, grabbing the cut-off point for the fuel. I'm so surprised he hasn't bothered upgrading any of his folks going to this with any assault rifles. Feels a bit odd. Feels a bit odd. There you go, Panzer IV to the rescue here. Got the Cromwell sending in for the Panzer IV. Shots fired, veterans 1 gained. Even got a blitzkrieg here, which either failed to hit a penetrate, something like that. Okay, troops healing reinforcing, okay, now for them 2 setting out. Angreifen still remains in the defensive there. He's just sort of bashing head on onto Talisman, which makes it easy for Talisman to defend. He's not, you know, trying to outmaneuver and catch him off guard, maybe what, a few units here and there. So this is making it easy here for Talisman by several lengths. Pretty nice brought up a second Cromwell. That means he does have the tank advantage there numerically, plus an AC to support them, and maybe find new paths to attack from. And Angreifen is, due to the fuel issues, some time off from getting anything extra. But if you get the other fuel point, hold on to it, and while holding on to the first one, he might have a chance of maybe pulling out some extra armor. In this situation, maybe a tank destroyer could be helpful, since Talisman does have a lot of armor and vehicles. There you go, land matches fire, punishing Angreifen. They're just bunching up everything and tank through the center there, forcing a full retreat. They're both are kidnappers. Full grenadiers and a panzer to this squad. He's lucky he did not get anything wiped there. That was definitely not an advised assault there. And there you go, almost got machine gun, but no, gets away. So that was a rather sloppy execution there, with Talisman responding and locking it down pretty well. Moving up, Panzer IV moving in to respond to this allied threat, and there he goes, shoots and bounces. Second shot Panzer, there you go, nice flank here, tears through the fence there into the cemetery, getting the Panzer IV from the side. Both next to bounce off each other. Another bounce, need to pull back the Panzer IV though. Wow, that is some serious light there, bouncing several shots off. Closing in eventually 2, but that's not going to help much in the tank on tank engagement. That's more versus infantry, and there you go. But Kednev around to support, he almost got it. He's trying to keep ahead there to get maybe get the Cromwell. Shot bounces. Oh, bother. It still feels like he's just getting too focused in the center. He's not considering the rest of the map, other paths, and just, you know, other ways of holding the map. He's getting very focused in there, whereas Talisman is just sort of looking at the map from a larger perspective and realizing, you know, if you can pin down Angreifen in the center, he can deny him a lot of fuel, and also he can just sort of build ahead there with just more tanks. In fact, he's going for a third Cromwell. So right now, Angreifen is soon in for a lot of problems, because he's only going to have 1 Panzer IV versus 3 Cromwells and an AC. But it's going to make even a Yak Panzer struggle, to be honest. Sending a small detachment up here. We've got the section hanging about. Healing reinforcement, victory point wise, he's also falling behind Talisman again. The centre focus not particularly good for that one either. I mean, you kind of want to hold it so you can sort of connect 2 victory points. That way, establish a more secure front. The problem is he's just focusing on 1 point, which means resource wise and victory points wise, it's a pretty weak sort of strategy for playing the map. And there you go, got the 3rd Cromwell out there for Talisman. Almost lost the full screen of the squad. Panzer fast there, but can't pursue due to the section in the way. This Panzer IV still resuming repairs. Commandos hanging about, also moving in. And ambush off. Nasty work there by Talisman. Works reasonably well. Force a retreat there from Angreifen. Kenneth needs to fall back though. Really bad spot to be in there. Got wiped. Quite a loss there. Quite a loss for Angreifen and the German army. Oh, there he pushed pin right in front of the AC. Oh, geez, he got the Cromwell, but he's going to likely lose something. And that's not going to be worth it. Got a second Kenneth here though. Immobilized. Got the Cromwell. He got 2 of them, but the problem is there's still an AC and another Cromwell left on the field. And victory points wise is not looking particularly better there for Angreifen. So I'm not entirely sure how good of a trade that was. That feels like a very poor trade-off, in fact, for Angreifen. He's going for another Panzer IV now.
A capture point is being overrun.
Using a light infantry gun, low on health to try and secure the field point there. We can see Angreifen is strained here. Largely due to, again, his own strategy and tactics. Got another land mattress barrage here off in the centre. Oh, infantry's bunched up again. He's just pushing in. He knows if he retreats through that, he's going to likely lose them. But he's going to have to retreat them anyways, because it's going to take one Brit sneezing in the general direction. Those 2 squads are going to fall over. Ah, he still lost the squad. Angreifen, you silly bastard. Cromwell trying to destroy light infantry gun. We're getting attacked here by the Kenneth Steel Pioneers. Almost got it. Saving the light infantry gun. Got the other Panzer IV moving out. Down to 100.
We're losing a capture point.
So we got the orbital engaging the section here. Lenkerber, cheap alternative than the bomb grenade, also force a retreat here. Good work by Angreifen. And we got the Cromwell, he's pursuing it aggressively. He wants that Cromwell dead, he wants it out of his sight. Smoke screen down there, but he hasn't considered it. It's the arrival of the Panzer IV, and there you go, doesn't even need it. Panzer goes for the smoke, takes out Talisman's remaining tank, but he still has the armoured car, and he still has a lot of infantry, which is what Angreifen does not. Comparatively, he's got very little. I mean, we got 4 sections, commander squad, and the savages got 1 Sturm Pioneer, 1 Volkswagen Orbison, and 1 Panzer Fusiliers. That's a bit undergunned. Oh, he's going to lose the Orbison down now. No! 9! Need to get the Panzer IV in there. Pretty desperate stuff here for Angreifen. Barely hanging on.
Capture point is being overrun.
Got that Panzer IV aiming for the AC. Nope, doesn't care about it. And gets flanked here by the AC. Mark 3. Would you look at Sat? Actually managed to run one over. Yeah, Sat's great. Who has to clean up some mess? Yeah, you do. There you go, more hits. He's focused on the infantry, ignoring the AC, which just keeps shooting at the Panzer IV. Very good work there. Section pushed away. Almost hit there. He's attack grounding, by the way, which does decrease that. There you go, lands another hit. It's virtually 3 now. It's taken down the Panzer IV on its own, down to half health. Needs to pull back that Panzer IV. It's going to get destroyed here by the AC if he's not careful. Cromwell around getting Panzerfaust, getting a kidnapped. Outmaneuvering it though. Need to get the steel punch with the Panzerfaust in.
Enemy causing trouble. Trying to take
I mean, obviously, helped a lot here with the AC that Angreifen ignored it so much and just allowed it to get so 3 hits with the Panzer IV, but it certainly highlights just how dangerous the AC is otherwise. Land matches finally to retreat the steel punch before they get wiped.
They're trying to take it.
These are not exactly losses Angreifen can afford to suffer. You might want to consider some more steel pioneers just to speed up the repairs. Oh, he's just continuing. He wants that Cromwell and the AC dead. It's going to be pretty tricky, pretty risky.
We're losing a capture point.
Popping into the ship, but we can't find that direction. Angreifen 9. Okay, it's shot there, but still. There you go. Gets it maybe in time, but there you go. Gets what? Gets the Cromwell.
The enemy destroyed a vehicle.
But the AC is still there by with 28 kills to its name. 29. Do not take the AC lightly. Hitting the center victory point. He's down to 68 versus Talisman's 436, and he secures a machine gun more away from Angreifen. He's going to set up the Vickers here to cover the victory point here. Very good. And then going to for full stalling up Angreifen counterattack to reclaim the center victory point. And all the way up north, we got a commander squad just waiting for anyone trying to grab that victory point and just murder them. He's brought up a second steel pioneer squad. He's forced to rush in the Panzer IV with low health. And there you go, engaging the machine gun, forcing retreat there from Talisman. Section pushed away.
Enemy threatening.
And another land matches barrage. Breakthrough tactics finally being utilised. He's finally using something more than just the Panzer Fusiliers. Though he loses the full Grenadier squad, but he loses another one. And he might lose some steel pioneers here to the land matches fires. He tries to repair the Panzer IV right next to the barrage. There you go, forcing retreat. Panzer IV at half health. The AC on the end is now fully repaired. In theory, under the right circumstances, could take on the Panzer IV and take it out in this state. More Panzer is being summoned forth by Angreifen to somehow fix everything that's gone wrong. And there you go, AC flanks the Panzer IV. More attack round there. He's almost got it. He's almost got it. He just needs to predict where it is. Shot missed right in front of the Panzer IV. Takes return hit, but he stops up. Oh, shot bounced.
5 points. Bloody nearly broken.
Shot bounced. Getting pretty lucky there for Angreifen. And there you go. We got Blitzkrieg, but he's pursuing the AC. That's not going to be worth it. And he's losing sight of everything else, but I think he's really just... And there you go, flanks the Panzer IV, taking it out. That AC is an absolute menace. A monster. Obviously, they're running straight to the sappers, gunning them down. We've got here infantry assault. Or combat, whatever. Which, of course, boosts the sections and makes it even more difficult for Angreifen to hold anything or take anything. So there you go. Big assault, we take the centre one. 7 points left. He rushes for one victory point, but there's a machine gun at one and there's a command squad at the other. He can't take them without armoured support or artillery support, and he's got none. Or at least a lot of numbers, which he doesn't have either. So either way though, Angreifen is pretty much dead here. This is GG. Game over. And there you go. Game over. GG. A victory for the Commonwealth, a loss for the German army. A brutal slaughter here on Semoisky winter, certainly highlighting the power of, playing the map rather than just focusing on the central victory point, which is sort of what Angreifen sort of made the mistake with. He just kept focusing on the central victory point, ignoring the resource, ignoring the victory points, which is overall the common mistake a lot of players make on Semoisky. Be it winter, be it summer, a lot of players, particularly access players, just focus on this one. They'll ignore the resource. I mean, it tends to be commentating a lot of play mech and a lot of other maps, but I feel like I've been seeing less of it. For some reason, Angreifen just falls straight back into it for reasons that are a bit unclear. But again, try to focus on the resource. The other victory point to just get focused on one point, because there's just allowed Talisman to get a resource advantage, control advantage. Yes, also plays infantry a much greater strength line, just trying to wear him down. And that also just allowed him to more effectively wear down Angreifen, who again struggled to control the map because overall he played the map in a very inefficient manner. So there's definitely some things there. Overall he made better use of Darks, and Angreifen only went for Panzers. He could also make use of Storm Officers. He could have done a lot of things better, to be honest. So there are a lot of misplays there by Angreifen. Strategically, he just felt a lot weaker there compared to Talisman. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe, tell friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a player and apply some feedback in the comment section. And if you like what I do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links are in the video description. And this is Imperial Dane signing off, and see you all tomorrow for another signing episode. Bye.